After watching my combo videos, many of you asked for a Shulk guide. Well, here it is. Welcome to Shulk 101.
Now it's Shulk time!
What makes Shulk unique other than his epic accent and amazingly long-reaching energy sword is his art mechanic. Take a quick look at this picture I have here for you guys. It's basically what each of Shulk's arts do. So we got the normal form, which is what people call vanilla Shulk. That's the standard, that's without any arts. Then we move on to the right with jump, speed, shield, buster, and smash. And so for these categories, they're basically self-explanatory, but I'll explain them just in case you don't know what they mean. Damage is how much damage Shulk does. Knockback is how much knockback Shulk's attacks have, how far they send the opponent. Damage defense is how much percentage he can receive, and knockback defense is how much knockback the opponent does to Shulk. Run speed is his running speed, and jump height is how high he jumps. So for jump, for example, it maxes out his jump height, as you can see right there. It lowers his damage defense, which means he will take a little bit more damage from attacks, and it lowers his knockback defense slightly, which means he'll be sent a little bit farther than normally. We head on over to speed, and it lowers his damage and his knockback. His damage defense and knockback defense remain the same, and his run speed is maxed, and it greatly lowers his jump height. So it's harder to recover in the speed art. We head on over to shield. It's similar to speed in that it lowers damage and knockback, but it maxes out damage defense and knockback defense, which makes you a giant beast. And it also increases his actual shield. When you hold the shield button, it actually increases how strong that is, just in case you didn't know. And we also have his run speed and jump height is greatly reduced as well. We head on over to Buster, which has maxed out damage, which means his damage output is absolutely insane. His knockback, he will not send you anywhere. It's extremely difficult to take off stocks in Buster. His damage defense is also lowered, which means people do more damage to him as well. His knockback defense is only lowered slightly. His run speed and jump height remain the same. And then we head on over to Smash, which greatly reduces his damage, which means his attacks won't be doing any percent damage. But the knockback is maxed out, which means that his attacks will send the opponent much farther than in any other art. His damage defense is normal, his knockback defense is extremely low as well, which means the opponents can also knock Shulk away much earlier and take away stocks much earlier than they should. And his run speed and jump height is normal. Alrighty you guys, so before I get into how to use each specific art, I'm going to share just a couple of tips and tricks with you with Shulk's neutral B. So for example, I don't know if you do this, but you can move while you're changing the arts. What I notice a lot of beginner Shulks doing is that they just stand still while they're changing their arts. You can actually move while doing this. And while you're changing your arts, you cannot backslash or air slash. So you need to be very careful while changing arts off of the stage, because you will not be able to use your third recovery option while changing your arts until an art is selected. Another good way, if you struggle with moving on the ground while changing your arts, is to jump while changing arts. And that's a great way to space away from your opponent and to get the art that you want and then dive on in and approach your opponent with the art that you want. You can also change the direction you're facing with the art change by B reversing. So basically how you do this is you change an art, then you jump, and then hold the direction, like hold the opposite direction that you want to face, and right when the art changes, Shulk will switch directions. And this is a great to change up your approaches. So say you want to edge guard with back air, you can jump off of the edge facing towards your opponent, change your art to smash, and then hold the opposite direction. Shulk will flip backwards, and then you could now edge guard with back air smash art. Much easier than running on the ground and then turning around. You can cancel the art that you have by pressing the B button 3 times in succession really quickly, and then you can scroll through normally. And you can also art cancel landing leg. And how you do this is basically right when Shulk's art changes and he lands on the ground, it will eliminate any landing leg. So you can approach with, for example, forward air has a little bit of landing leg, and if you time it right, you can art cancel into a smash attack. Now, I don't personally do art canceling too much because it's his neutral air already auto cancels. so it's not as useful, but it's useful if you want to approach with forward air, or if you just want to get out a smash attack really quickly, because it cancels it and you have no landing leg and you can go into any other attack right away, and it might catch your opponent off guard. A couple of you have asked me which art that you should start with at the beginning of a match, and to be honest, it comes down to personal preference, but I personally prefer the speed art, because speed has the most combo potential at lower percents. I will admit that speed, it takes time to use effectively, it really does. It comes down to timing. Connection's a huge factor as well. I struggle to use speed in really leggy connections just because my pivot grabs and stuff like that will not be on point. So, and even just locally, it's pretty difficult to learn. Shulk has a couple of neat approach options when in speed, so I'll go through them real quick for you guys. So you can either approach with Nair, Fair, D-Tilt, or you can do Run plus Shield or Run plus Roll. And I'll go through what makes these effective. So you can Nair, I'll touch on Nair, how important that attack is, but with the neutral air you can easily lead into down tilt or into a grab. With Fair you can at mid percents lead into a forward smash, and with down tilt you can usually lead into a grab at really low percents. So you mainly want to focus on Nair and D-Tilt. Now the other options, the Run plus Shield and Run plus Roll, what I mean by that is you can psych out your opponent. So if you run plus shield, you mainly want to stick to running and shielding if your opponent is spamming projectiles, and that gets you in because his ground speed is very fast. So it can catch people off guard. Most characters in this game, when they have a projectile and they use it, they have a little bit of end leg after. So if you run into the projectile, you perfect shield it, and then you can usually punish their projectile with a grab. And what I mean by running and rolling is you can psych out the opponent. You can run towards them and roll back, run towards them and roll back. I've seen a couple Little Macs do this, because Little Mac has a really good ground game and really high ground speed. So they psych out the opponent by running towards them and then rolling back, waiting for them to do a grab or do a smash attack or some leggy attack, and then you punish with a grab. So those are approaches for speed. And another key element with speed is Shulk's pivot grab. Shulk's pivot grab is extremely insane in speed. It's extremely safe as well. Much more safe than his running grab, which has a lot of lag. So I'll show you the difference between the pivot grab and the running grab. The pivot grab, it takes time to get the timing right, but once you get it, it feels good, it feels really nice, it looks really cool, and it's very effective and very hard to see coming and very hard to spot dodge, etc, etc. So if you can master the speed art pivot grab, then you are on your way to mastering Shulk. After the speed art is up, the opponent is usually sitting around anywhere from 30 to 50%, which is absolutely perfect for Buster to potentially get some combos in with Buster. The reason I don't start with Buster is because the knockback is so little that I usually get punished for attacking my opponent simply because Shulk's attacks have a little bit of startup to them, a majority of his attacks, and the Buster at low percents doesn't send them far enough to follow up. But when they're at like 50 to 100%, you can follow up with Buster very nicely. So the key to Buster is, again, his Nair and his Fair, and those rack up a lot of damage, they have a lot of range, and they're very hard to get around because the range is just so crazy. You also can use his neutral combo, his neutral combo where he presses A 3 times, that does like 16%, which is insane. So you could do neutral air to grab, or you could do neutral air to jab, or you could do neutral air to down tilt. Any of those work and they do a lot of damage and they lead up to other attacks. And another key thing for Buster is grabs. When you have Buster on, you want to do Shulk's grabs. His back throw and his forward throw do an insane amount of damage. So, for example, you could do neutral air to grab forward throw, and that's like almost 30%, which is crazy. Also on some characters, depending on how your opponent DIs your throw, and depending on what percent they're at, you can do back throw to backslash. Because back throw turns your opponent around, and if they do not technically landing, they'll be laying on their back, facing away from you, and you can backslash the top of their head for a nice clean 25%. Shulk's jump art grants him incredible maneuverability and a whole bunch of freedom. You can literally just jump around the stage and just throw out aerials. And a great way to use jump is to use it alongside shield because it allows you to live to ridiculous percents. So for example, you pop on shield, you get sent far away. You cancel shield, you pop on jump to get back. And you keep switching between those two arts at higher percents to live much longer. Again, Nair comes into play. You can Nair into Fair at higher percents, and you can even lead into another Fair if you can catch them while they're at the edge, and you could potentially get a KO off that. It's good for chasing opponents that are at the edge or that are off the stage, because you will make it back every single time. So you can jump off the stage and you can chase after your opponent. You can read their air dodge. You can play around with that. It gives you a lot of freedom off of the edge and in the air in general. And you can also use it to psych out your opponent. The main way you're going to be approaching and jump is obviously by jumping. And a good way to psych out your opponent is to jump and not attack them and go for a grab, because they'll have their shield on, right? They're waiting for you to attack them with either neutral air or forward air. And you know this, so you jump, you do not attack, you land either in front of them, far away enough that they cannot grab you, and then you can do a dash grab or land behind them and go for a grab from behind. And I mainly use jump to also get KOs when I have failed to KO in my smash art, because jump can get you some early KOs as well. The smash art is the definition of high risk, high reward. You basically cut off all your defenses and you lower the amount of damage you do in turn of receiving higher knockback for all of your attacks. Be very careful when you are at a high percent and your opponents are at a high percent and you pop on smash. It basically it comes down to whoever lands the smash attack, basically. And it's very intense, very, very intense. So you want to be careful. If you want to play it safe, you know, pop on shield instead, or if you want to risk it all, pop on smash and hope that you hit them with a kill move before they hit you. A main way that I die when I have smash on is I get shield grabbed and usually back thrown. Even characters that do not have a kill throw can kill you if you have smash art on at high percents with their grabs and their throws, so you gotta be very careful. Basically, what it comes down to for smash is you want to focus on kill moves, and I'll go through all of Shulk's kill moves that grant KOs in the smash art. So Shulk's main kill moves consist of his back air, his air slash, his forward air at the edge kills much earlier in the Wii U version as opposed to the 3DS version, so it is a kill move now. His F tilt, his up tilt, his dash attack, and any smash attack. If you can land a smash attack with the smash art on and your opponent's at 100%, they will die pretty much from anywhere on the stage. The thing with the smash art is that there's no shield pressure. He does less damage, so when you hit someone's shield, not only do you not erase any of their shield, you also do not push them back at all. So they can easily punish with the shield grab. And that's what I said before, how I usually die to shield grabs in smash art, is because his attacks have no more impact to them. So you need to make sure that you're spacing correctly, because a lot of his attacks, a lot of his kill attacks are really laggy, like almost every single one. So just focus on working on your spacing and your reading for the smash art and try and get those early KOs that will give you a nice solid lead. With the shield art activated, Shulk officially becomes the heaviest character in Smash 4. And you basically want to use this to live to insane percents and increase your rage effect, while also adding on extra damage to your opponent so that you have an easier time taking them out for your next stock. For those of you that do not know what the rage effect is, it is basically similar to Lucario's aura effect, where the more damage you have, like the more percent you have on yourself, all of your attacks, I believe, have increased percentage damage. They do more damage, and they for sure do more knockback. So as I said before, with shield, you want to use shield and jump to live to crazy percents and increase your rage effect to potentially give yourself a lead that your opponent cannot come back from. When you pop on the shield, your opponent's behavior will change. They will most likely take advantage of your slower movement speed by either trying to grab you or trying to smash you off the ledge to try and edgeguard you. And so how you take advantage of this is by basically avoid getting grabbed by constantly jumping and spacing with your neutral air and your forward air. They will always go for the grab, so just keep jumping, keep using those attacks because they have very little lag, and avoid laggy attacks, avoid smash attacks in general, because it's very easy to punish in the shield form. And punish their smash attacks with a rage-induced counter. Shulk's counter I'll touch on it very soon, but Shulk has one of the best counters, if not the best counter in the game. And if you're sitting at 150% with shield form on and your opponent's at, say, 90% and you counter a smash attack, you will take them out. You want to practice canceling shield when you're off the edge because Shulk is unable to recover even from, he basically becomes Little Mac in shield form in terms of recovery. His recovery is awful, so make sure you cancel that and either pop on jump or pop on some other art to get back to the ledge and continue fighting. Also, only use shield form when you are at high percents. Don't use it at the beginning of a match. Don't really use it at any other time because it lowers Shulk's damage output, it lowers his speed. All it does is it increases his defense and it increases his shield. His shield actually becomes a lot beefier, and Shulk in shield form will never have his shield break. For example, Bowser can do his Bowser bomb on you in shield form and it will not break your shield, which is absolutely an incredible thing to see. But yes, only use it when you're at high percents. Alright, now we'll be moving on to Shulk's special attacks. So we'll start off with his side B, aka his backslash. And as you may know already, it does more damage and more knockback when your opponent is facing away from you, hence the name backslash. If you backslash someone in the back, it will do more damage. So it is absolutely fantastic to use after Shulk's back throw since it forces your opponent to face away from you. Air Slash is Shulk's third recovery option, and it's pretty decent all around. It has very little horizontal recovery distance, but it's very good vertical. And if you pop the jump art on, it also increases his Air Slash distance that it covers. The first part is difficult to auto snap to the ledge, so you have to be careful because if you pop up above the ledge, you are not invincible and people can hit you away and edge guard you that way. But the second part of Shulk's Air Slash does auto snap to the ledge, so if you can time that right, you can usually make it back safely to the ledge, no problem. You can also follow up after an up tilt, usually with an Air Slash. So like in Buster or in Speed, you can use up tilt to Air Slash as a combo. Shulk's down B is his vision attack, which acts as a counter. And I've said this before and I'm going to say it again, Shulk's counter is one of the best, if not the best, counterattack moves in the game. The less you use it, the larger the window to counterattack, so basically don't spam it and keep it nice and fresh to save it for a moment where you know you can get a guaranteed kill. If you counter a smash attack or even a decently strong attack and your opponent's at high percents, you can net a KO off that. Shulk has two different versions of his counter. He has the regular version where you don't hold anything and he does his regular vision counter. But if he is on the ground, he has another counter. If you hold the control stick in the direction that Shulk is facing, he will do a counter where he hits the opponent in the back. Like he does, it has a completely different animation, it has more knockback, and I believe it does more damage as well. And it looks absolutely incredible, so you want to try and, the time is a little difficult at first, but once you keep doing it, it will become really easy to pull off. His second variation of the counter does not work in the air, only his original vision counter works in the air. As I said before, the counter is very devastating in the shield slash smash art. If you're in shield form, you're usually at high percents, or you should be at a high percent, which means your rage effect will be activated, and if you read a smash attack, you will easily be able to take out your opponent if they're at high percents as well. And even if you mess up the counter, which is hard to do if it's fresh because it lasts so long, the window to counterattack is very large, but even if you mess it up somehow and they still smash you, you will most likely not die depending on your percents because you're in shield form. A little bit riskier is popping on the smash art. I don't recommend countering with the smash art on at high percents because that is an easy way for you to lose a stock. But if you're down a stock, or if you have some incredible lead and you have the smash art on and you know they're going to attack you, go for the counter, no problem. There are also some projectiles that you cannot counter, so watch out. A couple of examples are the Yoshi egg and the Duck Hunt Dog exploding can. You cannot counter these while in the air, but I believe if Shulk is on the ground, he can counter any attack. A good way to use the counter is off the ledge. Do a short hop off of the ledge, and then do a counter if you predict that your opponent is going to attack you, and you can net some KOs that way as well. So it is a great anti-edge guarding technique that you can use. You need to treat Shulk's forward tilt as if though it is a smash attack. With the smash art on, Shulk's forward tilt becomes the equivalent of a smash attack knockback wise, and with the buster art on, Shulk's forward tilt has the equivalent damage to a smash attack. So obviously it's a good kill move and it's a good attack to rack up damage, and it's faster than Shulk's forward smash, but it has less range. So you can use this attack basically as a substitute to Shulk's forward smash. If you need to catch someone off guard a little bit faster than Shulk's forward smash, then opt for his forward tilt. You can also lead into forward tilt after a neutral air at lower percents. Shulk's down tilt is an absolutely fantastic spacing tool. It has so much range, and it is one of Shulk's fastest attacks in his arsenal. After a down tilt at lower percents, you can almost always follow up with a grab. Down tilt is also excellent to use after hitting an opponent with a neutral air. You can almost always connect those two attacks at lower percents with the speed art and with the buster art at mid percents. And after you do a down tilt, so like say you could do neutral air down tilt, and that can usually lead into a grab as well in the speed art and the buster art. It is also excellent for edge guarding, so say your opponent grabs the ledge and they let go and then they grab the ledge again. They lose their invincibility, and so the down tilt is a fantastic tool to hit an opponent off the ledge that has no invincibility. Shulk's up tilt is one of the best anti-air attacks in the game. If an opponent does anything other than air dodge when they are above you, they will get hit with this attack. They cannot trade attacks with you, and they cannot out-prioritize the up tilt. It will hit them every single time unless they air dodge. And the up tilt can follow up with itself and then follow up into an air slash. And the most that you can string together with Shulk's up tilt, I believe, is 2. I don't think I've ever strung together 3 up tilts, so it's safe. It's safe to go with 2 up tilts and an air slash. Its hitbox is also very weird on the ground though. When you're on the ground and you use this attack, it has a huge hitbox in the air in front of Shulk and almost no hitbox behind him at all. So if your opponent is behind you and you use up tilt, you will not hit them and you are very vulnerable. And it doesn't reach out too far in front of him either. You have to be right in front of him to hit the opponent. And it's also a very good kill option with the smash art when the opponent is at high percents. On to Shulk's neutral air. I cannot emphasize enough, you guys, how absolutely fantastic this attack is. It is what makes Shulk what he is today. Due to the simple fact that it auto-cancels and has little to no landing leg, which allows Shulk to follow up with a plethora of options. A couple of examples are neutral air to down tilt, to grab, to throw, neutral air to U-tilt, neutral air to just jab. Just a whole bunch of options. It opens up a whole bunch of options, guys. Especially with the different arts, you can do a whole bunch with this attack. You can edge guard with it, you can read air dodges and punish with it. It has huge range in the air. It's all around a fantastic attack. And if you want to master Shulk, this is what you have to master. You have to master utilizing his neutral air to the fullest. So a couple examples of follow-ups. At speed at low percent, you could do neutral air to down tilt to grab to forward throw to forward air. There's an example. Buster mid percent, you can do neutral air to grab to any throw, and that does huge damage. And at jump, at higher percent, you can do neutral air to fair, and you can even net some KOs off that. The main way to approach with Shulk is to approach with a short hop fastfall auto cancel neutral air. And I'll show you the difference. So here is an example of a short hop neutral air, and here is an example of a short hop fastfall auto cancel neutral air. And how to perform that basically is you short hop, and by short hopping you lightly press the button or you lightly flick up. You press the A button, and then right after you press the A button, you hold down to fast fall. If you fast fall an attack, it will automatically auto cancel for you, since the neutral air has an auto cancel feature. It will automatically cancel the landing leg. That's how you follow up with other attacks. So master the short hop fast fall auto cancel neutral air, and you'll be well on your way to mastering this character. Shulk's forward air became much better after the 1.0.4 patch, which was already implemented in the Wii U, just due to the fact that you can approach a lot easier with it because it receives less landing leg, which is fantastic. And it can follow up into itself very easily. It comes out quite quickly. You guys, if you've seen my combo videos, you've seen how many forward airs I've done. And it can also follow up into down air and get some potential spikes, which looks absolutely cool, feels great. It's just a fantastic attack. It will be your main attack that you get KOs, early KOs with at the edge. You can use it for edge guarding and has a lot of range as well. Use it in conjunction with the neutral air to control the air, basically. With the neutral air and the forward air, Shulk just is all over the place. His Monato's just reaching everywhere. You space these two attacks together and you'll be a force to be reckoned with for sure. Shulk's down air is a little bit more difficult to use just because it has a lot of startup time and it can spike. You want to use it off the edge as much as you can because it can spike, which will get you those early KOs. As I said before, with the forward air, you can do forward air into down air, and that works quite nicely. And you have to be careful when using it on the ground because it has incredible end leg as well. It's similar to Link and Toon Link's down air, except it doesn't force Shulk to skyrocket downwards towards the opponent. It goes really slow. It's really easy to see. It's really easy to shield grab as well. Really easy to punish you guys. You gotta be careful of doing that. You can cancel the end leg with the Monato art cancel, but that's a little bit difficult. So the main purpose for the dare is to use it as an edge guarding tool and to try and string it together with a forward air to get a cool looking spike. Shulk's up air is an interesting attack. It has a lot more kill potential in the Wii U version, which makes it a lot more viable as a kill option off the top, with the smash art on especially. Its hitbox is similar to Shulk's up smash, which is just completely vertical and there's no hitboxes on either side of Shulk, so the opponent has to be directly above you to kill with this attack, to even hit this attack. It takes some time to learn how to space it correctly, but if you can chase after an opponent and you know they're going to air dodge, maybe fast fall with them and do the up air, and maybe you'll catch them off guard and get a kill off that. Unfortunately, you cannot follow up with the up air with any other attacks due to the fact that it has huge startup and huge end leg. So it's pretty much just trying to catch an opponent that's dropping down on you from above, trying to catch them off guard, reading an air dodge, and getting a kill off that. This attack would be most effective with the jump art due to how high Shulk can jump. And with its higher kill potential in the Wii U version, you can jump after someone. They may not be expecting how high Shulk can jump. He can get way up there. And the up air reaches, it has far reach, obviously it's Shulk, and the Monato's reach is insane. The up air is no different, and if you double jump and then do up air, that has huge vertical reach, and you may be able to catch someone off guard and kill them off the top nice and early. Out of all of Shulk's kill moves, I would say the attack that racks up the most stocks would be his back air. His back air is crazy good. It has the most range out of all Shulk's attacks for sure. It reaches crazy far. So yes, it is one of Shulk's main kill moves when the opponent is at high percent, so you want to be popping on smash and throwing out some back airs for them. But you need to make sure you learn how to space it carefully and correctly when short hopping because it has a lot of end leg. A fantastic way to nullify that end leg is with Monato art canceling. You pop on the art, you do a short hop, fast fall, back air, and by the time you land, your art should activate, which will cancel the landing leg of the back air. And from there you can pop out a smash attack, you can do whatever you want. Shulk is free to do any attack. So the key with the back air is space it correctly, and it's hard to punish because its range is hilarious. So space it correctly and use it as a primary kill move. Another great way to use it is to catch people's rolls with it because the hitbox for the back air is stronger the closer the opponent is to Shulk. So if they're right on Shulk and he does his back air, it kills really fast. It's a really strong attack. But the farther away they are from Shulk, the less damage it does. So catch people that are rolling or catch people that go in for a grab, like do an aerial. And then since Shulk is jumping all the time, people always go for grabs, so just jump up, they'll go for a grab, they'll whiff their grab, hit them with a back air, got yourself a KO. Or at the very least some big damage. Back air with the Buster art on is an insanely powerful attack, and back air with smash art on is a very scary kill move. Shulk's dash attack comes out relatively quick and it has a nice little leap to it, so it can catch opponents off guard. You can follow up with Buster after some grabs or any attack that forces the character to hit the ground, and if they miss a tech, you can follow up with a dash attack because it comes out relatively quickly. It's long reaching, all around good attack, but it has lots of cooldowns, so if you attack someone's shield with it, you are getting punished severely. You gotta be careful when throwing out Shulk's dash attack. And it is one of Shulk's kill moves. It has very high kill potential even without Smash Guard. With Smash Guard, it kills quite effectively. It's similar to Link's dash attack in kill potential. One of the most satisfying attacks to land in this game, in my opinion, is Shulk's forward smash right next to Shulk's backslash. Hitting those two attacks are just feels so good. So, Shulk's forward smash, it has incredible range, pretty decent startup accuracy, but it has brutal cooldown. It is quite easy to punish Shulk's forward smash if the opponent shields it or spot dodges it. If they see it coming in any way, shape, or form, you will get punished for it. It has huge knockback with Smash Art on, and it has crazy amount of damage with Buster Art on. With the Buster Art on, it has huge shield pressure as well, and it pushes the opponent back quite far. And with the Smash Art on, it has no shield pressure and it barely moves them in shield, so you have to be very careful, especially if you're at high percents and you use the forward smash. If the opponent sees it and shields it, you're going to get grabbed or even smashed, and you'll potentially lose the stock because of it. So it's high risk, high reward with the Smash Art on at high percents. A great way to use the forward smash is to utilize the pivot forward smash in Smash Wii U. It's a lot easier to do on the Wii U version as opposed to the 3DS version thanks to the C-stick. To do a pivot F smash, just run in one direction, then hit in the opposite direction, and right after that, flick the C-stick in the same direction and you'll do a pivot F smash. And the pivot F smash is nice because it's a safer option for sure. It's less predictable and it's harder to punish due to the huge amount of range and the fact that you slide back a little bit, which gives you even more space between you and your opponent. And you want to use the pivot F smash at the ledge if you read a get up. The get up attack at the ledge, it has so much reach that it's forgivable if you mess up a little bit because it has so much range. So you can use it at the ledge, it covers a huge amount of distance, and you can get KOs off that. And you can also punish those who are planking at the ledge who have lost their invincibility by tilting it down. It actually reaches them, and I've charged up and killed people that way because they're just sitting on the edge and they don't think I can get them. Charge up a forward smash, tilt it down slightly, and you'll be able to hit them. Shulk's down smash is similar to Pikachu's in the sense that he spins around, except it has significantly more range and a lot more power as well. It consists of 3 hits, it has decent startup time, but it has insane cooldown. You have to commit to Shulk's down smash because right when you use it, you're not moving for a solid 3 seconds, which is a lot of time. It's excellent for punishing rolls as well as spot dodges. You cannot spot dodge all 3 hits, which is how many times Shulk spins around. Shulk spins around 3 times. But you can shield it. If the opponent shields all 3 hits, then they will punish you. If you use down smash with Buster activated and the opponent is at low percents, it's very possible to hit them with 2, if not all 3 hitboxes of the down smash, doing anywhere between 25 and 35%, which is a huge number. And with the Smash Art, Shulk's down smash has a huge amount of knockback, so it's an excellent kill move. And it's great to use for edge guarding at the ledge because it covers a lot of options. Shulk's up smash is much better in the Wii U version as opposed to the 3DS version simply because you can up smash out of the running animation due to the assistance of the C-stick. Shulk's up smash acts very similar to Palutena's up smash, except it has less range and the hitbox is on top of Shulk and above him as opposed to in front of him with regards to Palutena's. It has significantly less startup time and less cooldown, so it's one of Shulk's fastest smash attack and one of Shulk's fastest attack in all of his arsenal. So it's a very good smash attack that is a little bit harder to punish as opposed to his forward smash and his down smash. Alrighty you guys, that marks the end of Shulk 101. I hope this guide helps you all to really and truly feel it. If you have any questions at all, or if I missed something, just let me know and I'll help you out. I suggest you also check out my 3 combo videos since those have a lot of the follow-ups that I discussed in this video. and those videos will help you out just as much as this one, so I highly suggest you check those out. I also stream daily where I fight my viewers, so drop by if you're interested in playing me, or if you want me to critique your playstyle, or you want some further tips and tricks. That's a great place to go. I'm on every day, so just drop on by and we'll have a good time. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Peace out.